Hi YouTube, this is Dan Muddy Wheels here. I'm still working on the Pioneer CTF 2121. As you can see, it's still in a state of disarray, but you can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs, I suppose. So here's what we've done so far. I've rebuilt the capstan motor, similar to how I do it in another video on my channel. As you can see, I've had to lengthen these wires because I needed to test it on the bench power supply first, but I've made a tidy job as I can of it. Put a heat shrink over the ends, etc. I'll make sure they're all cable tied down nice and tidy before when I finish. I've also changed all the belts. The capstan one was particularly awkward to change. You can see here I've changed the idler wheels for some generic O-rings that were as close a size as I had in my collection, and now they seem to grip, which is a good sign. I've cleaned up the reel tables. You see the counter belt and the tape sensing belt this side, and then I've got above that, this is the beauty plate for the hubs here, but I've got to put a piece back on there. I've also on the underside got to put the solenoid and the switch here, as you can see, back into place. In the past I've broken them off when I've left them screwed on, but I had to unscrew it in order to fit the capstan belt. I've got to realign all the solenoid, which I'm not looking forward to doing. I've also changed the well and the VU meter lights for LEDs, and they work really well. I'm not going to put it on right now because I don't want to get electric shock because there's all metal poking around here. But as you can see, I make my own little rectifiers, and I've put some tape on the underside of the board. I'm going to mount them all properly, but you can see I've had to drill holes into the top of the VU meters, and there's two each meter. So I've converted the AC to DC using the bridge rectifier and the cap, and then each LED is wired in parallel with a 220 ohm resistor, and they haven't blown any fuses, so I must have done my maths right this time, which makes a change. The well ones, I don't know if I can find them here, they could well be wedged underneath here they are. Now the well ones are slightly different because I wanted a wider amount of illumination because of the width of the well going all the way along the tape. So instead what I used was some 5mm cool white LEDs, and these aren't ones I've brought from somewhere. I've made them like this with a nice heat shrink. As you can see, they're flat top because I find they give you a far better amount of illumination, and I've got 4 of those for the well. But obviously it's not mounted yet. I've got to drill some holes in the original well cover in order to mount them properly, but they illuminate nicely, and I'm glad I picked the cool white for those because they are in like a blue shade and it looks better. For the meters I used warm white ones, which I'm happy with. So yeah, that's the latest update. I think there's a spring missing from the deck, unfortunately, for the record play linkage, but I'm not going to use it for record, so I'm hoping that it'll just be alright in the playback mode. If not, I'll have to find the spring from somewhere. Well, that was my latest repair update on this deck, and more to come later. Bye!